The Mystic modded class is a really fun one that you can implement into your Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go over it, we're going to go build guide, level by level, and show you how it works in combat. And of course, to start this build, we have to use the Mystic class. Now this gives you some fun cantrips like Light Step, so you can alter your weight and increase your movement speed. You've got Mind Thrust, which is awesome, then a bunch of other spells for you to pick. You also get Simple Weapon Proficiency, Light Armor Proficiency, Intelligence Saving Throw Proficiency, and some Psi Points. So, first thing to do here is to pick your spells, and we are going to take Light Step, because I think Light Step is awesome, and we're going to take Mind Thrust. That's why they first appeared in that list, and I think these are amazing. We'll get to pick more as we go through the game, and you'll see what they are. And for your first Psionic Discipline, we are going to do Psionic Weapon. You've learned how to channel Psionic energy into your attacks, lending them devastating power. And of course, for your subclass, we are taking the Order of the Soul Knife. You can see it lists the levels you get, because this mod does go up to level 20, we're stopping at level 12. But we get the martial training, and we get Soul Knife. Now you can summon 2 of these, and they will use your intelligence modifier instead of your dexterity or strength, meaning you don't really need to give this character equipment, you just summon these. We'll also get martial training, which gives us proficiency with medium armor and martial weapons. Now for your ability points, I would personally take 10 strength, 14 dexterity, 14 constitution, 16 intelligence, 12 wisdom, and 10 charisma. And for your proficiencies, take whatever you feel like you will need. And that leads us into the Mystic level 2. Again, more psi points. These are kind of like your sorcerer points. We get telepathy, gain the ability to peer into the minds and read thoughts, and mystical recovery. After spending psi points, you can spend a bonus action to regain hit points. Now, Mystic level 3, this gives us more psi points as well as our psi limit increased. So, the amount of psi points you can spend at once is increased to 3, because obviously abilities get bigger. This also gives us a bunch of options we can soon choose. Now, before that, we have another Psionic talent, and for this one, I would personally come down here and take Psychic Hammer. Push or pull a creature 3 meters, meaning you could pull enemies into you to make life easier. For your next Psionic discipline, we're going to take Psychic Assault. You wield your mind like a weapon, unleashing salvos of psionic energy. Now, Mystic level 4 gives us our first feat, as well as more psi points and strength of mind. Gain proficiency in a saving throw of your choice, permanent bonus action. Now for your feat, we're going to take the ability improvement and bump our intelligence up to 18. Mystic level 5, again more psi points, our psionic limit has been increased to 5. And for your psionic discipline here, we're going to take Nomadic Step. You exert your mind on the area around you, twisting the interplanar pathways you perceive to allow instantaneous travel, basically Dimension Door. Mystic level 6 brings us our Consumption Knife, so restore 2 psi points after reducing an enemy to 0 hit points with a Soul Knife attack. Level 7 brings us another psi limit increase, so it's now gone up to 6, as well as more things we can choose from. And at this point, I personally like taking Restoration. You wield psionic energy to cure wounds and restore health to yourself and others. Level 8 brings us more psi points and Sonic Strike. After hitting an enemy with a weapon attack, you can do an additional 1 to 8 psychic damage. And for your feat, of course, intelligence up to 20, as this is our biggest stat. Level 9 increases our limit now up to 7. Now, I would personally take Iron Durability. You transform your body to become a living metal, allowing you to shrug off attacks. You could, if you wanted to, take Bestial Form, just up here, and take something like Tavern Brawler when you get your feat at level 12, but I like just sticking with the Soul Knife personally, so I would take Iron Durability. At level 10, we get Consumptive Power. Tap into your own life force, regain 7 psi points, reducing your maximum hit points by 7. We now get another spell here, and there's so many good options. You could take Energy Beam, which I love. You could take Mystic Charm, which I think is really good. You've got Mystic Hand. I personally would take Energy Beam. Mystic level 11, again, Sonic Mastery Charge. Sonic Mastery Charges can be used to activate Sonic Mastery once per turn, allowing you to cast a Sonic Discipline for free, as well as the Sonic Mastery, as you see there. And then finally, level 12, we get our feat, as well as more passives to choose from. For this one, I would personally take Adaptive Body. And for your feat, there's a few options. You could take Alert to boost your Initiative, which is a really good shout. You could take the Ability Score Improvement to bump your Dexterity up. You could take Savage Attacker. Lots of really good options as you go down the list here. However, for me personally, I do think the best option is to just take Alert, get yourself higher up the turn order. Okay, when it comes to equipment, I really like using Sevarog's Horned Helmet. Reason being is that we get the Dark Vision up to 3 meters or 15 if you already have it. Most importantly, what I really prefer is the Constitution Saving Throws +1 and the Critical Roll Reduction by 1. For a cloak, I really like the Flesh Melter cloak. Any melee damage against us, the attacker, will take 1 to 4 acid damage. The boots are genial striding, so cannot be unimpeded by difficult terrain, so our movement speed is the same. Elegant studded leather. Now, I like this for the ambusher trait. Gain the +2 bonus to initiative rolls, and you also get the shield spell, which I think is really good. If you wanted to, and you wanted to play a little bit more risky, you could take the graceful cloth and get the 2 extra dex. You could also take something that gives you exotic materials, so you'd add your dex to your AC, and I think the ACs there start at 17, so you'd be a little bit more tanky. Choice is really yours though. For this gloves, I really like the Helldust gloves. Your weapon attacks do an additional 1/6 fire damage, and we get Raise of Fire as a cantrip. We also gain a +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and spell save DC, and I just really like that for boosting up your attack damage. The Strange Conduit Ring, if you concentrate on a spell, an additional 1 to 4 psychic damage, works for scrolls. Caustic Band, we gain 2 extra acid damage, again just boosting our attacks. And the Moondrop Pendant, when the wearer has 50% hit points or less, they don't provoke opportunity attacks, helping you dart around the dance floor, or the battlefield. Don't know where dance floor came from. So, before you do anything, let's leave. Now, as soon as you left camp, first thing to do, we're going to come to our soul knife, and you take any of these. So let's take a soul knife. And there you go, you'll see they are on our waist. Now you can do this with the scimitars as well, and they will actually, you can dual wield them. You have to summon them twice, but you can dual wield them. And if you look at our damage, it's 9 to 21. We get 1d8 plus 5 psychic, plus the 2 acid, and plus the 1d6 fire. Okay, you can see we are joint in the turn order alongside our rogue, so we just end our turn. It's time for us to do some damage. Now we're just going to do some basic attacks against the, I guess only this one because we can only reach them. Just to see the normal damage output. And because of that, we get to do Sonic Strike. So if we turn this on, an additional 1 to 8 psychic damage. And there you go, you saw it that time, so we did a 4 extra damage. The first time I sadly clicked off because I pressed the wrong button. But that's sort of what you can pump out here. Now it's back to our Soul Blade, and as you can see, we have our soul points we can spend. So let's hone the blade, and we're going to bump it up to 7th level, and we get a +4 to bonus to attack and damage rolls. So if we activate that, we can come over here, and we can do lots of things like a parry. We can do an offhand melee, get that Sonic Strike, and you see you start pumping out some really fun amount of damage. You have to balance your points, but it is possible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up, and we're going to do a Soul Knife parry for our next turn. This will increase our AC by 2. And there we go, we have that activated, and we can still come in here with our main attack. Get that Sonic Strike. So you can really set yourself up for turns going forward as well as your current turn. And because you've got so many psychic points, you can do a bunch of crazy stuff. So let us do our Psychic Blast. As you can see, spend 6 psi points, and you can do a lot of damage. So if we were to cast it, we'll do this direction. You can absolutely just unleash the beast with this. And then you can come in here with your offhand for another big strike just like that. But of course there are other abilities we can do. For example, the Nomadic Gate. So we can cast this just here, and then we could put another one here. And what this means is we can use the gate to get up top, and we still have our bonus action offhand that we can start doing some damage. Once again, using this to strike an enemy if you miss, or sorry, if you hit. Now, because it's concentration, our other allies can actually use this. So you can see we are now up top here, which means we could come in here and start swinging. What it also means is that because it's concentration, our Strange Conduit Ring will now trigger, meaning we can actually do even more damage per turn. Get the Sonic Strike in, and there you go. Reduce them by almost 30 hit points. And at that point, it's really just a case of starting to finish off the fight. So for example, you can come up here and just do some very basic attacks to save your points. And you see we crack out the damage between the fire, the lightning, the psychic, all sorts of great stuff. And again, there's more things you can do to concentrate. So for example, let's do Augmented Weapon. Cast it on ourselves. Again, concentrate on this, so our Strange Conduit Ring will trigger, and we still have our bonus action. We can come in here on this turn, deal some damage. And then you can finish off the round with your improved weapons, just like that. So the Soul Knife is a really fun build. You obviously play it a bit more carefully than me, learn the abilities as you're going through the game, instead of just overloading yourself immediately. But it's a really fun build. It's almost like a glass cannon depending on how you want to play it. You could bulk it up, or you could go down this route, be really high up the turn order, really deal that damage, especially with an early round Psychic Blast. Deal that damage in a cone, wipe out people's HP early, and really go from there. So I hope you have enjoyed this modded build. It's a lot of fun to play, and I really hope you will give it a try. If you have, please drop the episode a like, it helps me amazingly. If you're new and you're not subscribed, you'd like to, that would also be amazing, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.